Hi, Angelique.
Hi, Dwight.
It's good to be here.
Good to be here. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so today we have a number of questions from students and alumni from Africa and North America. And we only have...
Yeah, we received a lot of questions. Thank you guys for sending those questions. But we had to narrow it down to 12 questions.
Yeah.
So here we are. Go ahead.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So where are you originally from? That question is from...
Nikkei.
From Nikkei.
Yeah. From Lagos, Nigeria.
Awesome. Okay. So I'm from Jamaica. I was born in Jamaica, St. Thomas, Jamaica. I now live in Toronto, Canada.
Okay, well, I'm originally from the Democratic Republic of Congo, and I moved to Calgary first, and now I live in Toronto, Canada.
Awesome.
Well, that answers the second question from Ade from Abuja, who asked, where do we live? We live in Toronto, Canada.
Yeah.
We have a third question. This one is from Sarah from South Africa, and she says, how long have you been married and how did you meet?
Okay, we've been married for 9 years.
Yep.
You want to answer the question, but how did we meet?
Yeah, well, we met because we were part of a band, a music band, and that's how we met.
Yeah, but how we met when it was a rehearsal at a gospel band.
So when I first got hired with the band, I went to the first rehearsal.
Yeah.
So I came into the rehearsal and you were already there at the keyboard, and there was I think the drummer guy was there too. Yeah. And
Edward.
Yeah. He was there.
Shout out to Edward.
Yeah. And then I said hi to you guys and then we did the practice.
I don't remember you ever saying hi to me though.
No. I said hi to everybody.
I don't remember that.
Okay.
But in my mind, when I first saw you, I was like, oh yeah, that's going to be my wife someday. I told you this. All right. True story.
And a question from Michael from Ghana. How is it working together?
Whew. Okay. I'll let you go first.
Well, it's interesting. It's fun. Challenging at times.
Why?
Because when I have certain ideas, you don't think they're great ideas at first, and then you think your ideas are better. And many times I have to let go of my ideas and go with your ideas until one day you have the inspiration to go with my ideas and you take them as your ideas. But you know what? As long as, we progress, it doesn't matter where idea came from.
I would say it's the best experience ever, because working with somebody who you trust and love, and also who's smart, because you're extremely smart. I admit sometimes I can be a hard head, and I'm like, you know what? I think I know it all. But over time, as we go, I'm like, okay, this woman is much smarter than me. So let me trust her judgment. So I would say working together is the best experience.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
It's like working with your best friend.
Yeah.
What was the inspiration for PS Remember? And this question is from David. David from Kenya.
David from Kenya. Okay, this is a very powerful question. So for me, because my interest is business, I'm always looking for something to do and something that's going to be impactful. But I didn't know what to do. I knew that I wanted to do something in technology, but the true inspiration came from you. And if you want to elaborate some more on how you really got into it.
Yeah, it's because when I was young, I moved a lot and I lost contact with a lot of people that I went to school with, because back when I was in school, we didn't have like social media, we didn't have internet, we didn't even have
Don't text them, nothing.
No, we didn't even have email, because we only had we just started getting pagers.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a long time. So, it was hard to keep in touch with the people and things like that. And I wanted to, find my friends from the past, from back home and everything. And I was thinking, why isn't it like an application that make it easier to keep in touch for from people from your past. So that's why we came up with the idea. How about an application where students can keep in touch with each other, and even after they graduate, they will always be able to find each other easily. That's why.
Even the name itself, we had that name for the first year or two in our relationship because we were doing music and we wanted to create a brand called PS Remember. And fortunately, we didn't use it for that. We reserved it for the social media. But even go further in terms of the inspiration for PS Remember. If you notice, students around the world today, the only means of connecting is through Facebook or through Instagram or through Google somehow. But they can't specifically communicate with any student from another university or another college, especially those who are currently attending. If I'm currently attending Harvard, where can I find information to communicate with students who are currently attending the University of Toronto? It doesn't exist. So this was more than just a simple idea. This is something that could actually change lives and change the world of social media. Not just social media, but change the world as we see it, right? So the inspiration, it took a small approach, but then it got bigger, right? So that's...
It's like building a community of students.
Yeah, building a community of students, right? Currently attending and alumni. Yeah.
Awesome. And then we have a question here from Nikki from Tanzania. What were some of the challenges in creating the platform?
Oh boy. Where do we begin? First of all, when we both started, we knew what we wanted to do, but we didn't know how to do it.
True. We have no background in technology.
No background in tech.
In app.
Building an app, building a website, nothing. We knew nothing.
We didn't know where to begin.
So where were we going to get the developers from?
True.
We needed a graphic designer. Who's going to design the logo? I'm actually the person that designed the logo. Some of these things I had to learn on my own. But I had to go out and seek the information. And that's not just that's just the beginning of all the hurdles that we had to overcome because, okay, now that you have this idea, where do you get the database? And how do you know that you need to get the database? Because I could tell some stories about you being up since 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, sifting through the data. You want to elaborate on some of that?
Some countries have a lot of schools. Like, for example, when I did India has millions of schools. Yeah. And it took me a good 2 months just to get the database for India.
Actually, it was actually 1.5 million schools.
1.5 million schools, yeah. And I had the raw data and I had to go like one by one by one. It took me 2 months and I was working like day and night.
Yeah. And that was just one of the many challenges that we faced. Getting the data of all the schools throughout 147 countries, college, universities, high schools, kindergarten, middle schools, in multiple languages, French, Spanish, all across Africa, all across North America. And then there's the financial hurdle. Yeah, how do we pay for all this? Because we have to hire developers. And that's the reason why you did it by yourself initially, going through the data, because to go through all those schools one at a time, we'd have to hire at least 20 or 30 people. Yeah. Right? And then also hiring the developers to develop the platform, to connect the data with, trying to make it work together. That was challenging for us. Not knowing all the terminologies in tech, I didn't understand what a SERP is. The simple ideas, API, those terminologies, I'm like, what are you talking about? You need to know all those things. So I had to dig deep and try to learn the information on my own because nobody was there to teach me. Same thing with you, right?
So basically, like the advice I guess you could give to somebody else that's maybe thinking about doing something they've never done before is do it. You don't have to have any background in it. You just start doing it. A lot of stuff you may have to do on your own because, you know, you may cost a lot of money to hire people. Just you can learn it just like, you know, we had to learn.
But going back to the hurdles, where it may take a group of people with large investment, maybe say 6 months. It took us 3 years to get to this point because we had to create a website. Once we created the website, okay, we had a beta testing period where we had students all across Africa were signing up, some even in North America. But then we quickly realized that website is not enough. We need to have a mobile app. And because most young people, in fact, nobody's on computers anymore. They're on their mobile devices. So we had to develop a mobile app for iOS, which is the app for Apple phone or iPhone, whatever you want to call it, and for the Android, Google Play, right? So these are things that we didn't know. And we just finished developing the mobile app so people could have access. So, and that was not easy because financially, you know how difficult it is to balance everything, right? And it was a difficult path, but we made it.
We made it.
Yes, we did.
What is the difference between PS Remember and Facebook? And this message is from Karen from Toronto.
All right, you can take this one.
Well, the difference is, so we have a community of students, and to register on the platform, you basically have to enter which school you have attended. And as soon as you get into the platform, the system will give you suggestion of people who have attended your school or who are attending your school as, you know, possible friends, you know. So we make it easier for you to find people from your past, people that you're going to school with. Yeah, that's the main difference. And we have over 2.5 million schools on there. So the chances to find your school are very, very high.
Also, I think with respect to Facebook and, you know, Facebook did change the world. We have to give people their credit when it's due. Instagram, WhatsApp, all these platforms, they have connected people throughout the world. And it's a beautiful thing. However, with PS Remember, I think that the experience is deeper for us. Because throughout the existence of life, there's always going to be someone in high school. Someone's always going to be in college or university. Someone's going to graduate from college or university. And I think it's important that every person on this planet, the age of 16 and over, should have a PS Remember account. Because it makes it easier for you to connect with your past. If you're in college, you want to connect with folks from your high school. Or if you're if you graduated already from all walks of education, you can still register yourself where you can still connect with your past. But speak a little bit more about that, because you had a testimony about connecting with friends from another country. Speak also how about war-torn countries.
Yes, there was a testimonial that came in. It was from somebody that used to live in Syria. And during the civil war, they were displaced and a lot of schools were destroyed. So, you know, a lot of people lost contact with each other. And they're both somehow registered on the platform. And because they attended the same school, the system connected them together. And they were able to find each other, and they're both living in different continents, totally different countries.
And that's amazing. Because if you think about it, there are many countries where war has destroyed infrastructure, destroyed the schools. Even the names of the schools have actually changed, right? And fortunately, you know, a lot of our data also had schools that have also been closed and also taken on a new name. So we make it more easier for someone in their 50s and their 60s could still reconnect. But I really like the idea of connecting our currently attending college students regardless of what country they're actually going to school right now, it's a community that does not exist right now. And, Pearson Member is putting them together. So I feel very proud about that.
Yeah, me too. This next question from Latoya, from Atlanta, Georgia. What are the benefits for students?
Yeah, it's quite simple. Let's say you're an international student and you would like to go to Texas A&M. You're coming from, high school in Lagos or Kenya or wherever in the world. Could be India. And you want to go to Texas A&M, but you don't know enough information. You can go into the website and try to figure out, based upon what they tell you. But if you speak to students can tell you this school is good or it's trash. I'm talking a little bit, but the platform gives you so much information that you cannot receive anywhere else right now.
Yes, yeah, it's very great for prospective students. Like any school that you want to attend, you can already make friends in that school before you even attend the school, which is amazing.
Yeah. So that's just one of the many benefits for international students. You'll find out from other students, and you could also connect directly with the university on the platform. You could DM the university through the platform, and communicate more. And here's another interesting thing that we have not spoken about. Universities, this is like the ultimate opportunity for them to recruit international students, because a lot of them was from China, from India, from all across Africa, Asia, South America. They want to come to schools in, whether it be Europe or Canada or America. They can now recruit easier because all these students are going to be coming on the platform, and they can check out the universities through the platform. So they'll be able to have more students, enroll in their programs. What role does your faith play in your life? Peter from Los Angeles, California.
Yeah.
You want to take that?
Well, faith is what keeps us going. Just like we named many of the challenges that came about, and many times we're ready to give up, especially when the pandemic hit in 2020.
Oh boy.
We basically didn't even want to continue doing it. It was very, very difficult.
Yeah.
But our faith kept us going.
It's just, because I believe in Jesus Christ, that he died for me and allowed me to have this life that I have today. That's what I believe. It's not what everybody believes, but for me, that's what works for me. So whatever I'm facing challenges, I give it to him. Whatever I'm dealing with in my life. We talk about, how the pandemic almost stopped us from continuing with PS Remember, because nobody knew what was happening in the world at the time. Governments were shut down. Our developers wouldn't go into the offices anymore. Everyone was scared. How do we continue the platform? How do we develop this great idea for the world? And we had to rely on our faith. We had to believe in God. And for us, that's the most important thing. For me, anyway.
Me too.
I know. All right. So this one is a tough one, but I know we can get through it. How did losing your daughter impact your life and PS Remember? Ruth from Toronto, Canada. So, since you're not ready for this one, let me just take this one. So, my daughter's name was Trinity Morrison, and she impacted both of our lives. She made us better parents, made us, especially myself, made me more patient. She was a special needs child, but she was special. And special to her grandmother, Coco, special to her brother Neil, and to her sisters, Vivica and Sydney, Auntie Ray, and Uncle Michael, and Uncle Jeremy. She was a special child to our family. She brought us together in difficult times. And even though she had all these complications within her body, she never gave up on life.
She never gave up.
Right? And it inspired me as her father, because I remember the days when I would take her for exercises. Exercise, and I'm sorry I'm making you cry, baby. Exercise when she first learned to sit up, or when she first learned to stand on her own. These were some of the challenges we faced that most kids do not. But she was ready for them and she overcame them. When she passed, it was one of the hardest things I've ever felt in my life. I've never felt pain like that. I'm sure you have not either, right? But here's an interesting thing about when we lost our baby Trinity. I remember this conversation with a good friend of mine, Kirk Alstead. He called me and he's like, Dwight, I know you're going through a lot, but you got to find a way to somehow incorporate Trinity into your business. And I remember having this conversation with you. I was like, what is he talking about? How are we going to do this? And then the idea came as we began to spoke. And then I called him back, and I remember me and him was on the phone, and we were both crying, and he's crying, but we're just thanking God for this idea. So the idea is, on PS Remember, every user has a profile page. And on this profile page, there is a heart. And that heart has a T in the center of it. And that T stands for Trinity. So if somebody comes to your page and they press the heart, they're basically what they're sending you, and you know what Trinity means, 3, right? So they're sending you love, joy, and peace. So if somebody comes to your page, they have an opportunity to send you love, joy, and peace daily. And I think it's the greatest thing that could ever happen to this world, that we could share our daughter on the platform, her love, her spirit of love, joy, and peace to everyone. So losing her was difficult, but I know there's a greater meaning behind it. You want to speak a little bit on that, if you can?
The Trinity function that we have is great because it's a way for people, another way for people to interact with each other on the platform by sending joy, love, and peace to each other, and they can send it to other people to celebrate them when it's their birthday, when it's their graduation. When they're going through tough times.
Somebody's going through something, yeah.
So it's for the good and the bad. And a simple hello.
It also means if someone's trying to pick up somebody, let's be honest with you, I don't know who you are. I press the button and then, hey, I break the ice, right? So Trinity just broke the ice for you. All right.
This question we have from Erica from Calgary, Alberta. Where do you see PS Remember in the next 10 years?
You can take that one.
Well, we see every student in the world having a PS Remember account. We see every student in the world connecting on the platform, because that's the point of the platform. We want to build one community where students and alumni and prospective students can come together.
I think that is exactly it.
Yes.
And also with PS Remember, we're fortunate that we have a strong security team that's protecting the information of our users. Because in today, information, I'm not calling out any social media for anything that they do wrong. We're just talking about us. Information is getting lost. It's showing up on other people's servers. It's on the dark web. So we take it very seriously, protecting information, and
the security of all
our users, and we don't have third-party applications at the moment. So I think that it's an attractive platform for those people who are thinking about their security as well.
And our last question from Roman from Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
How do we sign up?
Oh, very simple. So if you have an iPhone, you go to the App Store, enter PS Remember. It's on Google Play. PS Remember. Or you can also go to psremember.com if you use the computer like myself. psremember.com, and you can sign up, and the sky is the limit. So I think we did pretty good today. What do you think?
Yes, we did. We did. I hope we answered as many questions as you guys wanted to know.
Yeah.
And we'll do this again with more questions, because we have so many questions.
Okay, so you can go to psremember.com. if you're using a desktop computer, or you could also go on the App Store or Google Play to download the app. Pearson member, stay connected.